Welcome to Parnell Park for this go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 and 2 semi-final double bill. It is of course a day where we're not just thinking about football but about one of the icons of the county and indeed the country who has sadly passed away. We can't possibly add any deeper understanding of the man or his legend with our words. However, across today we'll see on the pitch the greatness of his legacy. St Vincents may win or lose this afternoon. As always in life and in sport, the outcome is hard to predict, but one thing we do know is that they will leave everything they have on the pitch. Just like the legend who has left us, they'll work hard and represent themselves, their community and their club with pride and a steely determination to work hard, to get to every ball, to win every tackle, to do what you have to do for the team to win. There was no better example of all of those traits than the great man that was Brian Mullins. At the request of his family, this game goes ahead. You get the sense that is exactly what the man himself would have wanted. Today, Vincents will play with heavy hearts but an emotional drive against a Plunketts team who will battle them on the pitch and try their best to win the day. This is the kind of occasion that Brian Mullins relished as a player and later as a coach, and his presence will be felt. Legends may move on from this mortal coil, but in some senses they never die. Paul Clark, you knew Brian Mullins well. He will be missed.
Yeah, goes back a long way. I was 16 years of age playing for Whitehall and playing senior football for Whitehall, and we played the 83 Dublin team in Parnell Park in a challenge match, and it was my first interaction with him. Subsequently he offered me my first job nearly 36 years ago to manage a gym, himself and Mickey Whelan. Like, he was a great athlete but a great business brain, and he had a facility there in Clontarf. I didn't take up the job, but since then, on and off the pitch, an absolute gentleman, so competitive against, but always open with praise, always open with support and advice in all his years.
It's no surprise that this game goes ahead. I think it's fair to say it's what the family wanted. It's certainly what he would have wanted.
Yeah, Brian had maybe just a bit of a turn a couple of months ago, and all actions were taken to try and help him to recover from that. But I don't think that was possible. And Brian, surrounded by his family and friends, close sporting friends from the GAA, decided to let life take its course. And over the last few weeks and months, he was visited by some great people, that would always look up to him. And sad as the day it is, we're here to celebrate in a way as well, Brian.
Well, his son Nathan is part of the Vincents team. He does start. It's a tribute to his character that he's able to do that. His teammates stand with him, arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder. Plunketts will do the same. He may have been a Vincents man, but he was admired and loved by everyone around the county. A county that he drove to success and to great honours. It is Plunketts against St Vincents in the go-ahead Dublin Senior 2 semi-final. This game absolutely huge. It may be a semi-final, but the winner gets to play Senior 1 next season. These two teams relegated on the same night last year on October 23rd. Less than a year later, they have the chance to restore themselves back to the top tier. Paul, this is going to be some encounter.
Yeah, two teams with great tradition, and obviously Vince is no more than Plunketts. I think, you know, both teams are on a rebuilding type of course for the last number of years. You know, they would never like to be out of senior championship, but that occurred last year. And you know, they both have teams of strength, experience, and some young blood coming through. So I think the ideal situation is to win today, get back to Senior 1 and blood those younger players in and move on for the future.
Ball in, game on. Getting his hand on it there was Brian O'Sullivan. Plunketts have the breeze at their back in the first half. That's a good take. No room to turn. He'll try and get a shot away. Gareth Nesty Smith wasn't named to start, but has. The former Cavan footballer kicks the first wide. Well, I guess they want experience in from the start. It's such a big game. You can understand why they would have gone with Nesty Smith. He's being picked up by Michael Concara. No lacking of experience between those two. Nathan Mullins gets his fist to it. Falls to Dara Brogan. Sean Bugler. We've all seen what Bugler can do in blue. What can he do in maroon? Loves these runs. Loves taking shots. Loves getting scores. He's got one there.
Yeah, that's an interesting forward line, Nesty and Sean Bugler. You know, Nesty's around a long time now. And has scored heavily for Plunketts for a number of years, so very important for them and very important for Freeze as well. If anything comes up, he's very reliable that way.
Michael Savage gets the kick out away. Gavin Burke, another one of the experienced crew. Here's Shane O'Leary. Nathan Mullins, formerly of Donegal, comes over to Mark Lestrange. Has played under 20 for Dublin. Sean O'Malley. Nathan Mullins. Turning and twisting Sean Lowry. Mossy Quinn still doing it after all of these years. Played well in the quarter-final as well. Mossy Quinn. Here's Martin inside Mullins. Mullins goes to ground. Ball spilled out and taking away Sean Bugler. He'll pop up all over the pitch. Gavin Brockman. Craig Dunleavy. Another one of those who was around in 2014 when these two met in a county final. Brian O'Sullivan jumping onto it. Bugler. Tom Cullen. Tackled unfairly according to the referee. I think that might have been Sean O'Malley who got his arm in there. Either way, it's a free.
Plunkett's playing with Ted Foreman inside, one-on-one. Craig Wilson be marking him, and then probably see Brendan Egan from centre half back trying to be a +1 to cover off anything that's going in there.
Cullen, who's played hurling for Dublin, waiting for it now. Brian O'Sullivan lays it off. Sean Bugler gave to Adam Keating, who moves backwards. Brian O'Sullivan, he's seen an awful lot of the ball already. Brian O'Sullivan, a dual player, only joined the senior football panel this season. His brother Owen part of the panel in 2014, that county final reaching side. Brian O'Sullivan trying to find a way through Sean O'Connor. Sean O'Connor trying to get around Shane O'Leary. O'Connor spills it out. Breslin. Tom Cullen. Dunleavy.
Very good shape for the Vincents defence there. They weren't drawn out to the players, and they had great cover inside.
Lowry. Good ball to Mossy Quinn. Couldn't quite keep a hold of it. Tyrrell sends it out over the line. Line ball for Vincents. Sean Lowry. Turning and twisting Sean Lowry. Well capable of putting the boot down and cutting inside defence. Has scored 1-2 against St Pat's of Donabate in the quarter-final.
Yeah, player with great pace and potential. You know, he's come of age now. He's been around a couple of years, come on the scene at a very young age, and certainly someone that there'd be great hope for.
Nesty Smith looking for Ted Furman. He's out in front. Measures this one. And kicks a second wide, unfortunately, for Plunketts.
Yeah, Ted doesn't normally miss those, but he had so much time, having won a great ball and turned well. He nearly had too much time and just was a little bit relaxed on a shot there.
A former under-21 All-Ireland winner with Dublin. Here's Craig Wilson. Wilson, whose first year in the senior panel was 2016. He was a dub star that year. O'Leary. Just a bit too high for Mullins to gather, and it's taken by Brian O'Sullivan. Left it off for Breslin. Ted Furman battling for it. Shakes off the defender. Has advantage coming anyway. Might need it. Doesn't need it. That's a good score.
Yeah, at that time there he was under pressure on the shot and actually executed really, really well. Ted will cause, major problems up there, and we'll have to see how Vincents stick with a one-on-one situation on him.
Good start for Plunketts.
Sean Bugler now playing right out around the middle of the park here. He's what do you deem as a +1 for Plunketts? I'm not too sure, but they lose a scoring threat from him. But when you have Nesty up front and Ted Foreman, obviously they have threats there anyway.
Shane O'Leary takes it. The wind kind of caught a hold of it and just took the momentum out of it. Gavin Burke. Plenty of options for Gavin Burke. Albert Martin wants it and gets it. It opens up a bit. Martin goes for it. Didn't catch it right. First wide for Vincents.
You just see how strong that breeze is that kept the ball from going out. It must be a lot stronger than we anticipate from up here.
Well, it's against Vincents in this first half, and I actually had it marked down as a wide. I've now had to scribble it out. Tyrrell carrying the ball at pace, has been involved with the Dublin under-20s in the last few years, but Vincent's turned it over. Quinn. Gavin Burke. That's a good pass. Sean Lowry. They have to bring it in close because that breeze is so strong. Sean Lowry hooks it over. Good score.
Yeah, Vincent's allowed Plunketts to come out there without getting a tackle inside the 50-yard line. They made tackle between 50 and 70, turned the ball over and then was at pace. Sometimes you question whether the full forward line should make the tackle in closer to goal, but it's like as if they have a blue and white line across the halfway line stopping the play up the pitch.
Turning and twisting is Papa. 5 points from play the last time out, Papa. Mullins. Good ball. Gavin Burke running onto it. Shane O'Leary letting it off for Sean O'Malley. O'Leary continues the run inside. Mossy Quinn takes it, sends it down the line for Shane O'Leary. Albert Martin. Mullins. Martin. Plunkett's dropping a lot of bodies back. And they've got it back, and it's Sean Bugler. Laid it off. Michael Meehan has started for Plunketts, wasn't due to, but he is on the pitch now. Bugler continued his run. Bugler again, looking for Furman. Brendan Egan sweeps it up for St. Vincent's, originally from Sligo. Mullins. Martin trying to get around Tom Cullen. It's not easy to do. Burke trying to brush off Dunleavy. Dunleavy sticks with him. Burke falls over. And Plunketts have it back.
Great play by Dunleavy. Really strong there. Didn't step off. Stuck really tight and didn't commit a foul. And won the ball really well for his team.
Brian O'Sullivan gets it back to Conor Tyrrell. Dara Brogan. Conor Tyrrell Played a lot of basketball as a kid, so has all those kind of skills as well. Not the tallest, but can leap. Here's Tom Cullen. Nesty Smith. Can they get a score out of this? Papa lays it off. Dara Brogan. Smith has to retrieve this one. Chasing after him, Concar. Brian O'Sullivan. Sean O'Connor. Plunkett's trying to work it. Furman. Running inside Tom Cullen. Furman cleverly gets it to Tom Cullen. Back to Furman. Stripped of the ball, Sean O'Connor hacked it forward. Vincents retrieve it. Brave play from Conor O'Brien. Got it off there to Gavin Burke. Brendan Egan.
No, conditions are really, really good today. A bit of a breeze, but it's a dry pitch. Number of turnovers from both teams, and we also have a couple of shots wide. So maybe it's just teams are a little bit nervous. They know what's at stake today. It's important to get the victory, but important to get a really good start to the game. Plunketts is probably a little bit better, and as I say that, there's another little turnover mistake.
This is the first of 2 live games on Dubs TV today. The Senior 1 semi-final between Afina and Ballyboden coming up. Don't forget to subscribe, and all of these games will pop up automatically if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Here's Quinn trying to get past Terrell. Terrell will stick with them all day. That's a good ball inside to Lowry. Lowry with the step, goes to ground, free in. Clever play from Lowry, good work from Quinn to get it to him in the first place.
Yeah, you could see there Mossy gesturing to Lowry a couple of times there, trying to get him inside. They would work really well together. Possibly something that's lacking for Vincents today would be the Dermot Connolly factor, that passer of the 30-40 yarder from outside, and he understands Mossy really well. We've seen Mossy out the pitch a little bit more. Maybe he's going to be the supplier in, and then drift in the odd time to work a score.
Quinn against the breeze. Shouldn't make too much difference from this particular angle, and from that close it doesn't. And we're all square. That's the first score from a place ball today. Tom Cullen receives it, calls the mark. Plunkett's launch it long. Broken down. Brendan Egan back to sweep up again. Got it away to Conor O'Brien. Conor O'Brien running back onto it. Lots of space for O'Brien to run into here. Burke calling for it was O'Malley. William Costello, Bill as he's better known. Shane O'Leary. Recycled it. Quinn has a look, thought about shooting. Good block down from Tyrrell. Tom Cullen recycles back to Sean O'Connor. Now it's Dara Brogan. Sean Bugler. Bugler gets it back, leaves it behind. Referee playing advantage. McCusker is deemed to have fouled Bugler. And the free will be from when the ball landed just inside the 45.
Yeah, Mossy received the ball there, and the first thing he wanted to do was get it in quickly, but no one moving the way he wanted it, and easily blocked down. Tyrrell is sticking really, really tight to him.
Smith goes short with the free. They're trying to work something here. Papa. It's a good score. That's a really good score. Well, we mentioned that he scored 5 from play in the quarter-final. He's off the mark today.
Michael Savage in goal is probably one of the best restarters. His goalkeepers around as they come. Obviously an understudy to Stephen for a long, long time. And really, really important to Vincents.
Concar. O'Malley. Back to Concar. Concar has a runner with him, that's Martin, but instead he goes outside. Sean O'Malley. Quinn. Slip ball inside by Quinn. Really good turn by Lowry. Lowry! Clips the crossbar and goes over rather than under.
As I just said, Mossie's playing out around the edge of the 21-yard line sideline, and he's constantly looking inside to see Lowry is free.
Well, it was a goal chance. They'll have to settle for a point, but it was really well worked by St. Vincent's, wasn't it?
It's a poor kick from the keeper now, so Vincents would like to just control this for the next minute or two and get another score on the board.
Mullins allows it to bounce for Concar. Concar outside to Lestrange. O'Malley. Martin. Having a look up as Shane O'Leary chooses to pass rather than shoot. Martin's bursting into space. Steps, say the Plunketts players. Referee not interested. Gavin Burke to give Vincents the lead. It gets caught in that really strong breeze and essentially turns into a Gary Owen.
There's a little half block put on it there now.
Quinn. The stranger was waiting, but instead Lowry took it inside, used his pace, gets the shot away. Unfortunately for him, kicks it wide.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a thorn so far. In the Plunkett side, he's got his hands on a couple of balls, and you certainly see the pace that he has. He's going to be a threat.
And I was asking one of the Vincent's mentors about him in the last couple of days. He said, Lowry, he's just very, very fast. You can see that. He's not just fast in the sense that he can run fast, if that makes sense. He can also burst off the mark really quickly with the ball. He's explosive, I think is the term I'd use.
Yeah, he as you, in rugby league terms, you aim for the postage stamp. That's the point of the shoulder, and he actually goes at the corner of a fella's shoulder and tries to get by that way rather than a sidestep of any form.
Papa spills the pass. Mullins tries to win it back. Concar flicks it on. Running onto it is Martin. Mullins running ahead of him. Goes outside instead. Great work from Bugler. Wouldn't let Costello away. Bugler. He'll go up and down the pitch all day, Bugler. O'Sullivan. Good 1-2. Brian O'Sullivan. Dunleavy.
My God, Sean Bugler's turned into a great footballer. He really has. He has all the skills and an old head on young shoulders.
Nesty Smith looking inside for Ted Furman. He's got a runner outside. That's Papa. Furman mightn't need him. Puts it onto that trusty right and sails it over. Fantastic score, his second of the game.
Again, linking up, himself and Nesty linking up really well. Vincents will see that as a little bit of a threat, and I'm sure we'll be looking at maybe or considering a change.
And Nesty Smith still driving this team forward. Apparently the standards he brings to training are unbelievable. Egan. Martin makes the run, receives it. It opens up for Martin. Has that got the legs? No. Got caught in the breeze again. Away it goes from James O'Donoghue, helped on to Brian O'Sullivan. Are you surprised Plunketts aren't trying to break forward a bit faster, considering they have the breeze in the first half and they probably need to build up a bit of a lead? Yeah,
they certainly would. With the breeze that is there, and we've seen already two strong shots being taken and dropping well short, you would hope that a lead was of 4 or 5 points is definitely a requirement going into a half time. Not to say that they won't do that just yet. Their build up from the back is a little bit slow, but the danger is inside that 50-yard line when the likes of Nesty gets hold of the ball.
Brian O'Sullivan helps it on. Well taken by Bresnan. Tyrrell. Can he use his speed to get inside? No, uses his cleverness. And that's a really, really well worked score. Sean O'Connor pops it over, but it was put to him by Tyrrell. A really clever pass. For the second time in the match, Plunketts have a 2-point lead. Conor O'Brien. Martin. Gavin Burke. Burke absolutely surrounded but stays going. Martin. Beg your pardon, that's not Martin, that's McCusker. But it's a free in either way.
Yeah, I didn't see much. It was a strong tackle, all right, by James O'Donoghue on Gavin Burke. It was a stand-up, but referee deemed that maybe the arm or elbow was a little bit high. Played the advantage. Mossy scored with 9 points the last day, 5 from play, 4 frees. Like, the amount of scores he's racked up for Vincents over the years must be colossal.
And there's another one. His second of the game. Well, he keeps himself in great shape, and that's not just about turning up to training, that's about what you eat, how you treat yourself outside training. There he is, tackling hard against Sean O'Connor. Referee will just calm things down a bit. Sean O'Connor is told to get up. Dunleavy. Tyrrell. Was a corner forward, was then turned into a corner back by Jim Lahan. Tyrrell. Wide. Third wide for Plunketts. Egan spills it, but has more than enough time to regather. Craig Wilson. Mossy Quinn, who, as you said, Paul, is dropping deep in this first half. Help back to Wilson. Wilson being forced out wide, goes backwards to Shane O'Leary. Mossy Quinn. Clever pass from Mossy, trying to turn and twist his Costello. And there was just too many defenders back there for Costello to beat.
Yeah, he tried a little flick off to Mossy there and didn't work out.
Dunleavy. Brian O'Sullivan. Brogan. O'Sullivan. Foul, free out. They're aiming this one towards Nesty. Running out to try and meet it is Papa. Papa sends it over. Very good score, his second.
Yeah, they're having a lot of success from that left corner position. Players getting onto a turn, and definitely the eye is in from that area. I haven't seen much of that player, Papa, but he's certainly very lively. He's a good pair of hands. Too, when he gets on the ball, he just sees the posts.
Came here as a child from Romania, took to Gaelic football and hurling like a duck to water. Very hard working, never misses training, great engine. Plays hurling as well. And of course last weekend Plunketts maintained their Senior 2 status. Senior 1 status, I should say. That's a free out. They did it on penalties. That's how tight it was against Crave Kieran.
Not my favourite thing, I have to say, in Gaelic football is a game coming to penalties.
And Vincents have intercepted it. That's really good work. Finds its way to Nathan Mullins. Mullins assessing his options. Mullins unfortunately kicks it wide. Nathan will be disappointed with that now. It's something that, you know,
Vincents also could need is that driving presence from midfield and getting that score as well. You know, most managers would say if their forwards can contribute a point or two each, and then you get a point or two from a midfielder and a half-back line, like you're racking up 14 or 15 scores in a game. And you know, even though conditions are great today, I think the likes of that could win the game. That's crucial.
Mark Lestrange receiving some treatment from physio Fergal, who's an athlete himself, runs marathons.
I wonder is he down for the Dublin City this year? A couple of weeks' time.
I'm sure he could easily do it. A yellow card for Sean O'Connor by the way of Plunketts, just to confirm that.
Yeah, Vincent turned the ball over there, 3 or 4 players on the run. I think he was just blocked. Yellow card. I can't see Mossy taking this one on.
They're doing the clever thing and the right thing and working at McCusker. Back to Mossy Quinn being closed down by Sean O'Connor. Quinn in a corner. Can he get himself out? McCusker tries to get there. And he did. All credit to him. Here's a shot from, I think that's Costello. And it's into the back of the net somehow. Not sure if O'Malley got something on it. Vincents don't care who got it so long as it went in, and it did.
I think that breeze had a big effect. It dipped very quickly close to where the crossbar was. Keeper did get a hand on it, but it seemed to maybe come down onto his chest or his knees and dispossessed himself nearly.
Well, we might get another look at that in a moment or two. But that's a huge, huge goal, and Vincent's lead by 1. What is it about that ending? Well, I'll say lucky goals. Costello got one a couple of weeks ago against Castleknock. Now Vincent's have got one here. Mullins sail that one over to Conor O'Brien. Conor O'Brien, who played minor for Dublin, got it back to Craig Wilson. Driving on Mark Lestrange, showing no ill effect from the injury he picked up a couple of moments ago. Gavin Burke has Shane O'Leary calling for it. Shane O'Leary gets it. Quinn. Good pass. Quinn continues the run. And that goes over. Sean Larry with his 3rd.
That's a little partnership again, this time a hand pass by Mossy. Didn't try to dissect it, just popped the ball over. O'Leary had plenty of time on it. I don't know how he lost his marker so well, but he did.
But it's all gone Vincent's way in the last couple of minutes. 1-1 without reply means that they're 1-5 to 6 points up, and now they've given away the free. Cullen. Sean O'Connor. Tackled hard by Gavin Burke. Got the ball away. Bugler. Smith. Bugler. Bugler. President. Advantage is coming for Plunketts. Here's O'Connor. We'll come back for the free.
I think Bowler got a bit of a knock there, maybe like a dead leg, just in the contact.
Melissa Parker, the physio, is on. Was involved with the Kildare ladies at one stage. We might get a look at that goal now that we have a stoppage. We'll do that at half time. But safe to say the goal was not a thing of beauty.
Strange, the Plunkett's goalkeeper, the sun wouldn't really be in his eyes. He's a cap wearer. Or that has effect or not, but it was a shot, drop short, right on that crossbar area. None that goalkeepers really like to be dealing with.
Smith had the legs but didn't have the accuracy, unfortunately, for Plunketts. It's the 4th wide of the first half for them. A first half that has flown by. Such a huge game. Remember, the winner of this will play Senior 1 football next season. Savage. Mullins gets up and takes it out of the sky, calls the mark. A great catch.
I know someone who'd be very proud of that catch.
Yep. Who would also be equally proud that he didn't back down when aggressed upon there. Bounced straight back up.
Bit of silly stuff himself and Nesty going head to head like that. There's not really need for it.
McCusker, Mullins, Burke, O'Leary, Lestrange, Quinn. O'Malley continued his run, squirts out, and somehow Vincents keep it under control. Here's Gavin Burke. Burke trying to get through, over carries, free out.
So expecting a little bit more from the Plunketts midfield, a bit more of a drive from them. They contribute on the scoreboard the last day, Conor Breslin getting goals. Really should be someone that it's adding to their forward line if they have, Bugler dropping back.
Mullins just leaving his arm on there, has a little bit of a tangle.
Yeah, he drew back an elbow there, right in front of the referee.
Dunleavy. Well taken by O'Sullivan. Bugler. That's an exquisite score.
Super score. Yeah, really strong. Played the 1-2. Once he's on the move there, he gets the ball back. Really good score. That's what Plunketts need. They probably need another 1 or 2 before half time.
Trailing by 1, having had the strong breeze at their back. And that's half time. 1-7 or 1-5 St. Vincent, 7 points Plunketts. Are they worthy of their lead, even though their goal was somewhat fortunate?
Yeah, Plunketts had a couple of missed chances early on. Vincent's had a couple of drops short, and it turns out the one that dropped short as well created a goal. I think that's goalkeeper error, more than nothing else. Vincent had a nice structure about the team. Brendan Egan holding at number 6. Plenty of players driving forward. Mossy and has that little understanding going on with John Lowry inside has been a threat.
Well, we might get a look at the highlights of the first half in a moment or so. There were some good scores and there are some big scores. Here are some of the highlights of the first half. Paul, a good start by Plunketts, a good opening score.
Yeah, Sean Bugler started the half with a left-footed score and finished it with a right-footed score. So, happy with his work rate. Does it mean Plunketts need to push him up more to the forward line to help them get up more scores on the board?
Lowry got the first for Vincents. They were 2 points to no score down at this stage, but that was a nice settler. 7 minutes in. Then Quinn followed it with the free not long after. That made it 2 points apiece. Papa, he scored 2 from play so far. That's the first of them. Great engine on this guy. Great finisher as well. And his brother is on the bench. He's got similar attributes. Vincent's, as you would expect, worked it cleverly, and Lowry got in here. We thought, would it be a goal? No, it was close. Didn't get over, or didn't go into the back of the net, I should say. Nesty Smith setting up Ted Furman. He has been lively, hasn't he?
He has been a threat, yeah. I don't think he got as much ball now in the last 15 minutes as he did in the first 15 minutes. Is that good play by Vincents, or is it poor play by Plunketts that he didn't create those?
That's Tyrrell, a very clever pass and a really good finish from Sean O'Connor. Mossy Quinn. Vincents against the strong breeze in the first half. Any frees that they went for had to be from close range. That was very much in that bracket, and Quinn, as you'd expect, popped it over.
There's one off his right from Pablo. There's one off his left and right. So he's a good finisher.
Yep. McCusker, really strong contesting of the ball there. And that was the goal. Costello got the shot away. Keeper got something on it, spilled it in. Some nice scores for Plunketts in that first half. 1-5 to 7 points, St Vincent's lead. Remember, the winner will play Senior 1 football next season. This has to end today as well. It will go to extra time and penalties if required. Half time, Vincent's by a point. We'll be back with the second half soon. Stay with us. Welcome back for the second half of this Go Ahead Dublin Senior 2 Football Championship semi-final. But Paul Clark, it is in effect a final because the winner goes in to Senior 1 for next season.
Yeah, that's why you're hoping at the second half be a lot of cut and trust about it, and teams, either one will want to push on and secure that. Vincents can't hope that the Breeze is going to win it for them, and Plunketts need to push on and think that the Breeze is going to stop them. You see Sean Bugler's drifted back into left half back or as an extra defender.
Are you wasting him by leaving him back there? Do you need to have him further forward?
I think he is a threat in the shooting area, but as we've seen twice, he's come from outside the 50-yard line to get his 2 scores and finish really, really well. If that's what they hope to do, and that may work for them. But if he's tied up marking someone, Vincent might decide to push a defender up in the half-forward line and go man marking him.
He was on Lowry for literally the first couple of seconds of the second half. He's now gone on to McCusker. That's obviously all happening off camera. A yellow card has been brandished as well. We'll come back to that in a second. Plunketts looking to get the first score of the second half. Plunketts in the maroon, Vincents in the white and blue. The shot is released and it gets caught in the very, very strong breeze which is blowing against Plunketts in this first half. It is sunny, but it's very, very breezy, Paul.
Yeah, Plunketts didn't learn from Vincent's errors in the first half. You need to be getting inside the top of the scoring D, just outside the 21-yard line, to be sure to strike him from there. I don't know whether the yellow card might have gone to Nathan Mullins when the throw up was won. He chased back there, and maybe a couple of incidents he's been involved in, and that was the yellow card for him maybe.
Conor O'Brien pops it off to the man just mentioned, Nathan Mullins, who gives it to Burke. That's risky enough, but it does work out. It's well taken by Lowry. He's already on 3 points from play. He might be thinking goal here. Goes wide. Did it take a clip off a defender? No, it didn't.
With 3 players surrounding him there, and he just had the pace to get through the gap. Maybe could have took another touch, another solo, and finished better.
Well, he's got great feet, doesn't he? The way he stayed composed there and was able to get the shot away. Mullins fists it, but only as far as a maroon jersey. Sean Bugler trying to get away from McCusker. Bugler continues his run. O'Connor gives it back to him. Bugler down the line. Killian Hayes, I think, has come on for Plunketts at half time. He has come on. I'm not sure who he has come on for. Sean O'Connor. That's a 45.
That's a super block from Brendan Egan, very important.
Killian Hayes, one of the dual crew in this Plunketts team, plays senior hurling as well.
Difficult for a team when you have obviously two senior teams, hurling and football, to manage that. The chairman of the club, maybe the games committee, both the hurling manager and football manager need to be able to get on and make sure that players don't get born out, or what training they're doing, and when they have games just balances out right for the better of the player rather than the club, and whether it's hurling or football.
Tom Cullen coming forward. Smith pops it up for Furman. Hayes is inside. Furman, does that curl in? No, it doesn't. You mentioned there the balance of senior footballers and hurlers. I suppose Terry O'Brien, the manager of Plunketts, understands that better than most. He also managed the hurlers in the past and led them to what was then called a Senior B title. Played for Dublin as well in hurling in the 94-95 seasons.
Well, then he's someone who knows and understands and how important it is. You want players, if they want to play both sports, let them do that.
Being shrugged off it there, Sean Lowry. It is a free in for Vincents. Amongst his management team is Ken O'Doherty, who played minor for Dublin. He then went on though to play in the League of Ireland for UCD, was signed by Crystal Palace, played for Huddersfield, went to Shelbourne. Bit of a multiple sports star. You might remember the FAI Cup final of 1984, scored the winner against Rovers deep in injury time in the replay. What a sports person Ken O'Doherty. What a sports person Costello is, and he's absolutely nailed that. It's his first point of the game. Our suspicion is that he may well get the credit for the goal. It was his shot that dropped in, but for certain we know he's got that point. And Vincents intercepted the kick out. The snapshot from Martin, wide.
The shouts from the Plunkett sideline is move. You know, they want the players moving for the keeper to find that open space and pick people out.
Still young, the keeper. Featured for the Dublin Miners. Mullins got the ball away, receives it back, runs onto it well. Cullen is following him. Mullins goes for the crossfielder, looking for Lowry. Just didn't quite catch it right. Good idea, just didn't quite work out.
Brendan Hegan here right in the centre of the pitch, controlling things and telling players to push up.
Tyrrell has to be careful. He's lost it. There was 1 against 2 there. Lowry back inside for Martin. Martin! Good point. Vincents have upped it, haven't they? They've got the breeze at their back.
They're pushing up on them all, the kick-outs. You know, distribution of the ball isn't great. Like, no quarterback wants to be receiving the ball along the ground. If anything, into the space or into the chest. Vincents now were pushed right, 5 players up nearly in the full forward line.
Intercepted by Burke. Burke measures, shoots, and floats it over. Very good score by Gavin Burke. He's first of the day. 3 points in a row at the start of the second half for Vincents. Tyrrell. Cullen. O'Connor. Breslin down the line, looking inside for Papa. Breaks kindly, swept forward by Breslin, but there was no one there. Furman bursts out to try and get there and fouls his man. It was a shoulder to the back as opposed to a shoulder to shoulder on Craig Wilson. It's a free out.
The ball was kept in play really, really well. If Breslin had a bit of composure, you could have bent it down and picked it up rather than kicking on to nowhere.
Savage gets it out to Concar. Wilson. Strange. Craig Wilson. Lestrange wants it again. He is covered. Really good work by Vincents. Gavin Burke driving on again. Good take. Lowry turns, faces goal. Lowry gets it outside. And that's a really, really good finish. A goal for St. Vincent's. And it's looking good. Mossy Quinn yet again coming up with a good moment for Vincent's, who are in control of this game now.
Great drive and run, but Burke carried it nearly 40 metres. Had the composure to pick out Lowry, who was, you know, is really causing Plunkett's trouble. They've even put Tyrrell on him to try and quieten him down, but then you don't give Mossy Quinn a ball run inside the 14-yard line without thinking there's going to be a green flag raised. He's probably one of the best finishers ever to play Dublin club football, if not county.
Mullins gets his fist to it. Martin, it just bounces away from Quinn. Thought he was away again. Finds the net for the second time, but this one won't count. Keeper tries to get it going quickly. Cullen. Plunketts against the strong breeze. And again, Mossy has the ball in hand. And again, it's a free out.
Yeah, Plunkett's could do a little bit of composure here. I don't know what strength on the bench they have to come in and control things. The kick-outs. In fairness now to Vincent, they did push 12 players up into that forward line on the last kick-out. 12 players. So they definitely were going for the press.
Ted Furman. Killian Hayes ran outside. Killian Hayes inside. Breslin, they need a goal. They haven't got it. Not yet anyway. Was that a penalty? Yes, it was. Sean O'Connor, a big presence in the square. He was taken down. And it's a penalty for Plunketts.
Yeah, I said Breslin needs to really come into the game. He scored the last day and he needs that driving force for Plunketts. I think it was Nathan Mullins actually was the one that saved the ball on the line. And then a little bit of overzealous tackle after that and a definite penalty.
Nesty Smith. Smith against Savage, two old stagers in the Dublin Club Championship. Two men who have seen pretty much everything. Smith. Savage saves it. Well, how big a turning point is that in this game? Well, not so much a turning point, but a point of no return perhaps for Plunketts.
Yeah, Nesty went for power straight down the middle. Savage used his body and legs to stop it, and then composure to get up, pick it up and play it out to one of his own teammates.
Martin just ran out of pitch there. The ball got away from him. Short to Keating. Intercepting is Costello. But Plunketts had the numbers back there to get it back. Hayes. Gavin Burke tackling strongly. Adam Keating trying to get it away, and he does, much to his credit. Brian O'Sullivan. Sean O'Connor. O'Connor wrapped up by Lestrange. Free out. Vincents tried to go quickly. Ted Furman gets it back, but we'll have to go again.
Not sure if the linesman's seen something there. He's gone over to talk to the ref. And I think maybe Nathan Mullins, I don't know, he left a little bit something in there when that was on the ground, and that could mean he's gone.
It's a straight red card for Nathan Mullins. Vincent's down to 14.
Yeah, when the players were around that ball there, when it was a really good tackle from Vincents, I'm not sure then whether there was a little bit of afters from Nathan.
19 minutes still to go. Vincent's winning and winning well. The Plunketts will feel it. Maybe now they have some hope. Of course, they've had that penalty save, but now they're up against 14. Concar. How many times though have we seen it in Gaelic football, particularly when a team loses a player, they up the work rate. Just gets away again from Sean Lowry, and that'll tell you how quickly that ball was travelling when Lowry couldn't catch up with it.
Vincent's going to have to move things around here a small bit. Who's going to drop into midfield?
Good tackling again by Mossy Quinn, but the ball is spilled into the path of O'Sullivan. Vincents, despite the fact that they're down a man, not afraid to press on. Sean O'Connor. Good work by O'Sullivan, who had turned back to pass it to a defender, but the defender had his back turned to him. O'Sullivan again, but it's a free out. Too much taken out of it, too many steps. Making a dart into space as Shane O'Leary wasn't spotted. Now he's followed by Dunleavy. Another change being made. And you did mention this, Paul, that they would probably have to call on their bench. And in for Plunketts is Conor Walsh. Going off Dara Brogan. Conor Walsh was part of that 2014 team. Has had a few calf problems of late, so may well have started only for that. Very strong running centre forward. Doesn't give the ball away. It's exactly what Plunketts need right now. Egan. Burke. Good ball by Burke. Outside from O'Leary. Back to Concar.
The only thing I see Vincent maybe doing is dropping Albert Martin out to midfield, and then pushing the likes of maybe O'Leary out to centre forward. They're going to have to drop under their full forwards back anyway, and work it out that way.
Gavin Burke kicks it wide.
This could be a Lamb. Certainly has a. Sean Lamb, yeah, he's on there for Vincents.
Lamb primarily a defender. Mossy Quinn has it. Back inside, it's O'Leary. It's a point. O'Leary's first. Well taken from Shane O'Leary. Plunketts yet to score in the second half. Lamb still going. Intercepted. No one running off the shoulder. I guess that's what happens sometimes when you're down to 14. You just don't have that extra body to pop up when needed. Dunleavy.
I think Killian Hayes had originally supported him, but then dropped it off the run.
Dunleavy runs onto it. Takes a shoulder from Gavin Burke. Furman. There's still time for Plunketts, just not a whole lot of it. Smith. Good take. Great block again. Might spill towards Cullen. And Vincents yet again just getting the numbers behind the ball and getting a block on it by any means necessary.
That's a team lift and block, alright. Like he was clean through inside the 14-yard line, full length, down on the boot. Fantastic.
Well, no scores, but they have had chances, Plunketts, in the second half. That penalty saved by Savage, and of course that block that we just saw there, we might get another look at it in a second or two, but Vincents have secured possession again.
Shane O'Leary made that now. It was fine block.
O'Malley looking down the line for Costello, got away from him. Line ball for Plunketts. Don't forget Nafina against Ballyboden coming up a little bit later on, that the Senior 1 semi-final. Nafina looking to end a very, very long wait for a Senior 1 title. More work for Fergal, the physio from St. Vincent's, to do here.
Substitution there for Vincents. Joshua Kelly after coming on.
Plunketts on the attack. Vincents have to play on. That was Craig Wilson who was down. He's not moving particularly well. Plunketts looking to get inside as they can. Papa had the runner off the shoulder. That was Conor Walsh. Walsh files Cullen. Smith. Hayes. Smith. Gets it outside. O'Sullivan. They need a score. And they finally got one. Brian O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I think William Costa was taken off there, so Vincents have a sub on.
Brian O'Sullivan's first of the game. A really, really needed score. Now they've got the possession again. Furman, brave and bending his back. He's fouled by McCusker, free in. Hayes trying to get away from O'Malley. Furman, advantage coming for Plunketts. Furman didn't catch that right, but the free in is on the Plunkett side anyway.
Game's gone a little bit flat now since the sending off. I'd expect Plunketts to give us a little bit of urgency. Instead, Vincents have actually stepped up and are pushing on. They could easily be retaining possession and keep possession of the ball and not going forward, but they've actually scored since the sending off.
8 minutes since that sending off. And Plunketts have only managed one score. Is it about to become two? Yes, it is. That's a really, really fine free from Ted Furman. His third of the game. Well, they haven't got any goals today, Plunketts, but they have created chances, so it suggests that they are a threat in that sense.
Some experience there. Jarlath Corley coming on now from Vincents in the full back line. Brings a lot of experience. I think that was an injury maybe to Craig Wilson, who's gone off there the far side.
Savage. Ball broken down, running onto it is O'Donoghue. It's another free in. Plunkett's trying up it a bit. Sent forward by O'Connor. Killian Hayes had Walsh running with him, didn't go to him. Sees that there's plenty of options there. Here's Papa. Papa trying to get past Burke. O'Sullivan. Cullen. Plunkett's trying to work it into a good position. Brian O'Sullivan lays it off to Walsh. Walsh spills it. It's rebounding around. And Vincents get their hands on it. Now, can they get it out? The answer is yes. Once again, last-ditch defending from Vincents. There's nothing lucky about it, though. It is a skill that they've worked on over the years. Lowry using his pace. He's got Martin looking for it. Lowry still going. Lowry fouls his man. It's a free out.
I think that was another good tackle there on Walsh. He stepped inside, thought he had a free one, and it was just a great hand-in tackle. Dispossess him.
Breslin. Hayes. Cullen. O'Connor. Hayes. O'Sullivan. O'Donoghue. Walsh. O'Donoghue. Smith has the runner. O'Sullivan. Vincent's blocking up the central channel, blocking up the scoring zone. O'Donoghue. Smith. Egan's slip. I thought Smith might have gone for it, but he gave it to Walsh, who gave it to Bugler, who gave it back to Walsh. And somehow it's gone in. I don't know if that got a touch from Sean O'Connor. Connor Walsh's shot finds its way into the back of the net.
I don't think there was much on it. Poor enough shot, dropping short. Tried to put a bit of a tomahawk on it, but missed. But he got across Michael Savage eye and went past. So,
well, the last three scores in a row have gone for Plunketts. It's got them right back into this game. 3 between them. We might get another look at that. I'm not sure if Sean O'Connor got something on it. Connor Walsh will claim it, but I'm sure Connor Walsh would happily give the goal up to someone else, so long as they got it. That's all that matters to him. That's all that matters to Plunketts. Concar. Curley. Curley gets it back. Moved us to Giblin. Quinn. Good composure, as you'd expect from Mossy Quinn.
Yeah, Giblin must have come in there during the celebration of that goal from Plunketts. And compose yourself from Mossy. Just keep the scoreboard ticking over, trying to keep that advantage.
A very well worked score. Connor Walsh. We've had 3 goals in this game. Only one of them has been clear cut, in a sense that there's kind of no doubt on who scored it. O'Connor. Smith. Smith followed all the way by Concar. Got the ball into O'Connor. O'Connor has to go from a very tight angle, and it's not his best effort.
Certainly Walsh has come in at centre half forward, and it means Brendan Egan now has the marker guy when he was sort of free earlier on. That's tying him up, and then doesn't give that protection to the fullback want for Vincents.
Good delivery by Savage. Lowry is the aim. O'Donoghue got across. It was vital he won that, because if he didn't, Lowry was away.
I think Lowry was waiting for the bad bounce to go over the head, but very well done by O'Donoghue.
Bugler continues the run, gets it back. Has Dunleavy running a loop. Dunleavy takes it into a kinder angle. Smith. Tyrrell spilled, but spilled kindly for Plunketts. Keating. Furman. Keating still outside. Furman is dispossessed. Wonderful defending, wonderful tackling. Jarlath Curley.
Yeah, that's the experience he brings, you know.
McCusker. Curley. A measured ball to Shane O'Leary. O'Leary might take it on himself. The breeze is at his back, remember. O'Leary. A really good response from Vincents to that goal. They've got the last two. Good score by Shane O'Leary. Tyrrell. Smith. O'Connor. I understand the scoreboard has gone from the screen, so I'll tell you Vincent's leading 2-11 to 1-9. This one not over yet, but Plunketts are running out of time. We've only got about 4 minutes left. O'Leary. It might fall for blue and white. No, it doesn't. Egan with the tackle. Cynical. It might well be a black card, you know.
It's cynical.
Well, he wrapped his hands around him and brought him to ground and went to ground himself. So he's made it easy for the referee if it is a black card.
Yeah, Egan hasn't had a comfortable few minutes now since Walsh has come in, and you know, that was a bad play by Vincents to turn the ball over. In fairness to Plunketts, they did force the turnover, and you know, there was one winner there. The ball was Bugler when he pushed on, and Egan probably felt it was necessary to do something like that. Now Vincents have to do a little bit of rejigging.
Because they're down to 13 for the rest of the match. Remember, Nathan Mullins sent off after 41 minutes, and now Brendan Egan. Black card. It's so late in the game. It essentially is a sending off, in a sense that they won't get anyone back to replace him, because I don't think we're going to play that long. Furman.
And Plunkett's have brought on Downey and Papa, so they've made 2 changes at that turn. That's important. Still believe Plunkett's need a goal. I don't think they're going to chip away and get back with points. I think a goal probably is required.
Well, the scoreboard is still down on your screen, so we'll do this radio style. 2-11 for St Vincent's, 1-10 for Plunketts. 4 between them. Remember, Plunketts missed the penalty. Had at least one shot blocked on the line. Maybe there was 2 blocks as far as I can remember. All Vincent's have to do is keep possession. It's so easy when I say it like that, isn't it, Paul? But they've kicked it away. It's Papa. A hard runner who can take scores. Furman didn't catch it right. 2 from frees in the second half, none from play.
This is where experienced Michael Savage coming out now and finding a man is so important, and he does that so easily. That's disappointing from Plunketts that they have so many players, 2 more than Vincent, that they're not pushing right up on all kickouts now. Throw caution to the wind.
Savage, who looks like the coolest man in Dublin at the moment, the way he just kind of took that ball nonchalantly. Vincent's with 13 men trying to see this one out, leading by 4. Now we're about to cross into the last minute. I'm not sure how long we'll have of injury time, but this is how you do it, isn't it? Surging up the park. A good run from Sean Lamb. Gets the pass away. Finds a teammate. It's 2-on-2 inside, but they don't deliver long, even though they've got the breeze behind them. Albert Martin. Lovely shimmy by Martin. And that's a free. And again, Vincent's will be in no rush to take it.
See Mossy going out here again. I don't imagine he's going to go for this. He'll look for retention of the ball, and even if he has to go back, he will.
Mossy Quinn. I expect this to be a pass rather than a shot. Well, he's shaping up for a shot. It's going to drop. Trying to get under that one is Sean Lowry. He was outnumbered 3-1 there, 4-1 if you count the goalkeeper. Hayes, we're into injury time. Plunkett's down by 4. Intercepted brilliantly by Giblin. Now it falls to Quinn, who will just take it down the line. Looking for options, not many on, so Quinn just carries it on. Quinn somehow still going. It might break here for Lowry. Plunkett's have it back. James O'Donoghue. Walsh took it, laid it off. Brian O'Sullivan. Jack Carroll was running inside. He's not long off the bench. O'Sullivan, followed by Gavin Burke. Carroll wants it, doesn't get it. Falls to Breslin, who's turning and twisting, trying desperately to find a route through, but the route was blocked. O'Sullivan tries to open it up a bit. Conor Downey. Sean O'Connor. Papa. This to make it a 3-point game. It's missed, and that might be that. A minute into injury time. Vincents still by 4, 2-11, plays 1-10.
Yeah, that's disappointing. They probably would have took the point and hoped to win the kick out, and still I think that goal was required, but they've all to do now.
Savage going short to Lamb. Vincents with just 13 on the pitch. Savage. Furman now puts some pressure on him. Savage sidesteps him. Savage picks out Shane O'Leary. Lamb is fouled, free out.
Great impact, Lamb, since he's come on. You know, he's carried the ball with pace going forward, and he's been helping out in defence. Really, really impactful.
Kelly. Lamb. There has to be just seconds in it now. Vincent's still leading by 4. McCusker. Savage. They're so comfortable in possession. Lamb. Lamb continued his run, got it back from Shane O'Leary. Plunkett's can't get their hands on the ball. Kelly. Martin. McCusker. Or I beg your pardon, that's Jarlath Curley. Lamb. Gavin Burke. Burke has a runner if he wants it. Adam Giblin. Burke goes for it himself. Burke gets a wonderful score, his second of the game. And that, I think it's fair to say, is the cherry on top.
There's Brendan Egan back in now, but I think the referee is called. No, he's sending them back off again.
I was about to say that was a very fast 10 minutes. 2:12 plays 1:10. And the scoreboard is back up and running, so you don't need me to tell you that anymore. Well, it looks like Plunkett's are going to be another season in Senior 2. Unless they can come up with something pretty outstanding here. Killian Hayes. Hayes still going. Bugler. Laid it off. Papa. They need to work a goal. Savage makes another good save. It's a 45, but it's really not much use for Plunkett's.
It was easy to deal with for Savage, even though he's strong. He put his leg out and blocked it across. Maybe a hand pass across the square. The player coming in would have been a better option.
Well, Furman's going to have to drop this one in. They need 2 goals. Furman does drop it in. Gets back spin on it. Falls kindly for Downey. Again, Vincents just get bodies in the way. That's Concar. Concar absolutely surrounded, but kept his head. Plunketts have it back. Papa. Conor Walsh was the target, but they couldn't find him, or Killian Hayes. And now they'll charge out, and it's Lowry using his pace. And that's it. St. Vincent's are back up to the top tier of Dublin club football. They got knocked down last year, but it's not about getting knocked back down, is it? Or getting knocked down. It's about how you get up, how you recover, and they have recovered. And I think it's fair to say there's someone looking down on them and smiling today. St. Vincent's beat Plunketts 212-110. Paul Clark, they deserve their victory.
Yeah, you know, Plunketts a bit disappointed with their performance. You know, they had a couple of chances, for points early on to settle them into the game. And, and it took so long for them to get a score on the scoreboard in the second half. But those conditions were difficult. I thought the understanding between Mossy Quinn and Sean Lowry in the first half was pretty good, and Sean returned the favour to Mossy, creating the goal for him. Important as well, even though the sending off and the black card, the introduction of Jarlath Curley in the full back line, Sean Lamb in the half back line, really strong, fast carrier, and Adam Gimble in midfield. I think he kicked the score as a sub. Was a bit of a difference for them. Plunkett did try hard, but can be disappointed, and Vincent's be delighted now with that.
Yep, as you would expect, it's somewhat muted. It's an emotional day, an emotional weekend for St. Vincent's. But they've done what they have come to do, and that is to get back up to the top in Dublin senior football. Let's get a look at some of the highlights of that second half. It started very, very well for Vincent's. They got 4 scores before Plunketts could post a reply. Costello with that free. Martin popping up with the score here. Played well today, Albert Martin.
Yeah, Vincent's press on the Plunketts kick out early on was really, really good. Like, they were pushing up. They only had Savage and 2 defenders back, and they had 12 of their own players in that half of the pitch, and made it very difficult for the keeper to kick long because of the breeze, and by the press of players in the half back and full back line that they couldn't get kick out. So definitely good play and good thought process by management and delivered by the players.
Mossy Quinn with that fantastic goal. This a good block on the line, and then it was awarded as a penalty. Savage making the save from Smith. Vincent's responding well. Quinn, and a well taken score.
Yeah, Vince was consistent down the scoreboard. He kept it ticking over. It was really, really good from them, and they should be really happy. And then at the defensive end, some really, really great blocks. Do you call them game-winning blocks or morale-lifting blocks for the team? That getting players back and doing that, it gives confidence. Your keeper is well known. You've guys who put their body on the line.
Well, Plunkett's getting to the semi-final stage, getting so close to getting back up, but ultimately for them, falling short. They worked hard in this game, but Vincent's just that little bit better. Conor Walsh.
It was a great tackle. That just actually got a hand on hand and turned the ball over.
Bugler back to Walsh. And you thought when that goal went in, they had a chance. But again, they responded, Vincents, with 2 points in a row to make it 2-11 to 1-9.
There's a fine score.
O'Leary.
That's your defence, your half-back line coming in and contributing to the scoreboard as well.
Furman with the last score of the game for Plunketts. And that was fantastic.
Gavin Burke.
Yeah. So there's 2 of the driving forces of the team. Gavin Burke amongst them, got a couple of decent points today. and that's Conor O'Brien walking beside him for St Vincent's. They are back where I suppose they would expect themselves to be, back where they should be.
Yeah, tradition that goes there. The players that have been there before Vincent's, there's huge demands and expectations from the club. I know a couple of years ago my own club Whitehall beat them in a playoff and they were relegated, and I think within maybe 12 or 24 months later they were winning Dublin championships and actually won maybe an All-Ireland around that time. So they bounce back. This is something now that they build on. Look, they have a final in a couple of weeks' time. I suppose you check to see if Mullins is suspended, but they have a final to play, and there's silverware and there's a trophy. They'll want to finish off this season with that victory and set things up for next season.
Well, that's it for our first game of the day. Congratulations to St Vincent's, who are back in Senior 1 for 2023. Hard luck to Plunketts. It's been a tough 24 hours or so for Vincent's. We're thinking of the Mullins family. We're thinking of the wider Vincent's family, because I suppose with GA clubs and all sports clubs, even if you're not blood related, you kind of turn into a family. So we know it's a tough couple of days for the club, and our thoughts are with you on what is a bad time. I think they did Brian Mullins proud today. The way they worked, the way they took their scores, and the way that even when the game threatened to turn away from them, they got blocks in, worked hard, did what they needed to do defensively. Even when they had players sent off, one for a red card, one for a black card, they never actually looked like losing, and they kept their shape.
That's exactly probably the way Brian Mullins would play. There was plenty of skill there, there was plenty of hard work, there was plenty of graft. There was also a composure when things were going a little bit against them. Players got into positions that were crucial for the team in defence, and then up front you had players then could execute the shots that made a difference in those last few minutes. Gavin Burke has been around a long time now. He's a true Vincent's man. He kicked a very important score, and also the clinching score, maybe you want to say, at the last score. Yep. Mossy Quinn did the same as well. So that's Vincent's true and true. That would be Brian Mullins true and true.
Well, congratulations to St Vincent's. We'll be back shortly with our second game of the day, the go-ahead Senior 1 semi-final, Nafina taking on Ballyboden. Remember, you can join the conversation via social media. Don't forget the hashtag #GoAheadDSF1, and of course you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and anything we're doing, be it a match, a draw, whatever, it'll pop up automatically. That's it for now. We'll see you in a few minutes.